here's a good argument for why 99.99% of the population might go along with a temporary moratorium on porn, where might think that a lot of people would break the mandate and engage with it, but they would not. And I've heard this argument before. And the thing that might come into play is that your neurology has been rewired, because remember how exciting it is to see like a crumpled up magazine from a nudie magazine. Like, you couldn't hardly look at it without getting hard, you know what I mean? Now, out of 1,000 pornos, you probably think like 2 of them are actually hot, and out of those 2 or 7 or whatever, let's say it's like 10, out of those 10 porns that are actually hot, there's about 5 frames of it that you actually looked for. Like, there's like really like such a small percentage of porn that's actually hot. That make me think that they're rewiring neurology with an agenda to make you gay. That doesn't mean I have a problem with gay people. That just means that I think that there is sorcery. It is in play, not them. I'm saying there is sorcery in play that has an agenda that isn't even it messes gay people up worse, because now you have a bunch of straight guys that want a rim job. I don't think there's that many people, straight guys, dudes, that want to be like, you're getting your diaper changed or something from your girlfriend. Like, I hate that. Like, you kind of hike your legs up in the air. Like, you don't even, what the fuck are you doing? And or how many people need to get turned on by a sibling or a fucking first cousin, or a situation way back when you lived under a household of the parents that made it scandalous, so that there's a scandal or a betrayal behind every porno. Like, you have to degrade the woman because you're gonna send her off to kiss her boyfriend after this is over. And that is the thing that is hot in the narrative of like 99% of porn. So how come, is it just corruption? I mean, corruption is something I have to wonder if I'm boring anyone, because I don't expose nothing, unless this isn't somehow enthralling to lead to exposing something, but without grossing anybody out or boring you. And I have to ask you, am I boring you, or is this appropriate enough to where I'm grossing anybody out? Because there's really no way that you're going to get an answer to the question of what percentage of people who watch porn is that industry even fucking catering toward you, or somebody who bankrolled you. So there has to be a temporary moratorium so we can find out what the fuck happened. How is it? I just want to know. I'm just because I think there is probably more harm than good to come from an outright ban. But if there's a temporary moratorium, does that mean that a lot of people will become like, they will break the law and continue to watch porn even when it's banned? But if your brain is being neurologically reprogrammed to, while you're sifting through all the crap that you don't want to see, getting you accustomed to finding some way to like something like that you would never do, or that the mass majority of straight men would never be interested in, so that they seem to want to fuck up the entire industry. But is it fucking up, or is it doing what it's supposed to do? That's the question. Is it doing what it's supposed to do? Because are they stupid, or is it like that they're pervert, or are they just trying to enact another kind of what's it called? You know what it is that if you really believe in depopulation or something like that, there are some things that a society will just vanish. It'll just disappear. You don't have to fucking plot how you're going to depopulate. There are certain things that a society could succumb to where they would just fucking vanish. You would just cease to be. Fuck trying to orchestrate, like, you know, a depopulation conspiracy. Just bankroll, and then where they got something like people willing to be exposed to certain advertising or something. You know, it's like there's no way you like that, but you have to run into it all the time. You have to see it all the time. It's just you're allowing yourself like a timeshare vacation, and to be pitched for an hour or something. Like you have to go to a little timeshare, and the salesman has to sell you some other products or something like that while you're there. To try to extend it, if you like it, try to extend your vacation or something like that. See where I'm going? I know a lot of people are like, what the fuck is he even talking about? Screw those people. Screw them. What the fuck am I talking about? What do you even mean? Most people are thinking this. I don't know. It's just a question of a lot of people that are thinking this. How come nobody's talking it? Because it's possible that there's more damage than good. Fuck, I don't even care about more damage than good to the porn industry. If it comes down to you can't have a temporary moratorium so that you can find out why incest and things like are being pumped, like to the degree that that's all it really is, mostly maturely is, then it might just fucking be better off to have an outright ban, because there is an overcorrection that society goes through where there are catalytic there's a degree. So they prefer a litmus test, because to the degree that you can obfuscate anything, that is a level, a level of inability to occult, which just means hidden. So it can be as mundane as hiding anything, like who stole the cookies from the cookie jar. Okay, that's occult. It doesn't have to be a special people that are super IQ and they are in the Billionaire Boys Club and they can't do no wrong, and they have a lot of responsibilities, so sometimes they have to send bad people out to do like dirty, disgusting things. And they're all well behaved and everything like that, but then the population is all like in social moral decay, preferably with a bunch of illnesses and medication for STDs and stuff. I mean, people will this is our, that's interesting, but how are you going to without boring me or grossing people out? How are you going to expose anything without grossing people out or boring or being boring? Possible. You don't want to insinuate that someone who's nescient has culpability either, because they probably should whoop on you. And then ask, and then continue to ask, figure it out, because you're not authorized to trust anybody, because anybody can fall into decadence and moral decay, if even through being compromised or acquiescence or some kind of convenience-based modalism. I know that it's possible about every, okay, I'm gonna be mad if anybody insinuates about me, but as long as it's cool, as long as I know that anybody can fall in, but I'm not gonna say myself. I'll say I can because all sin is the same sin, I could fall to ulterior. I could fall to ulterior and deception again, like, or something like that. But it's not going to be like cut and dry as like fucking, I'll buy that for $1. You know what I mean? It would have to be an advanced web of conspiracy and deception and cronyism and coercion and pressure, and you could get tortured, or somebody you love can be tortured on try to find you, try to get to you. So then at some point in time, it's a yarn, and you can't be who you say you are, or something. You're living a double life or something. You know, that's just to say, it's like gaslighting society. Even though society's fucked up, you can still gaslight it. Where you're not hell bent on saving humanity. You are a proliferator of mankind. Like a proliferator of mankind. You know, you wouldn't force two people in a situation where there's only one man and one woman left who can procreate to have sex. If they didn't want to, you would just really sincerely ask them, even if they didn't like each other or know each other, to consider getting together and having a baby. That's crazy, huh? Hopefully they approve, you know, hopefully because they need to be able to, like, catalytically, it's like a charge. You have a negatively charged head and a positively charged phallus, and the only way to get the positive charge to your head and the negative charge to your phallus is through a woman. Like an electromagnet. And I think cold fusion is probably tied into something like with electromagnetism. Like a symbol. You can tap into the symbol because there's entropy on everything physical. So you get the energy from tapping into the archetypal symbolism. That's might be in the realm of the occult. So it's not that you never knew. It's that it's been mystified, and you have to demystify it for your culture. Then there might be a reason to have to demystify occult metaphysical information, and then to mystify it to save your culture. So it's possible to save your culture that you might have to become an occultist. Does that mean you can't be a practicing Christianity? Because if people categorize things like, you know what it is, we put you in a category of things, and there's a loose association through, like, a perspective from people that didn't live the experience, that they can only interpret it through literature and theater reenactments. So it's acceptable then too to have a skewed perspective and not know anything. It's also, you have a different paradigm. So you should know what people are talking about on either side of the spectrum, and why they're on the different sides of the spectrum. Because perspective is a two-sided coin. All right, enough.